Oh my word, it's a cold evening, and it's snowing outside. Absolutely lots and lots of snow. We just have a wee look out on the outside the back door here. Now, look at this. Snow. Just masses. Isn't it incredible? It's very cold. I'll just get back in. Jack, come on. Come on. Ooh. So, I think it's time to pull the curtains in the kitchen. Look at these two. Sammy Bear's been on that chair the whole day. Beauty's been on the bed. So, just pull these curtains. This often happens, you know. Usually not long after you'll have a spell of cold weather, which can seem like the middle of the winter. Well, I suppose it is still winter. You wouldn't think it though when you see this beautiful little muscari blooming in the pot. So, it's very comfortable here in my new style kitchen. Very comfortable and very cosy. And Nick has finished work in the bedroom, so I'll show you what's been done in there. So these are the wardrobe doors. Now, obviously they have to be stained, so I'll be doing that probably tomorrow and fixing handles on them. And then this is the pelmet in the bedroom. Now, I jigsawed this out myself, and guess what I used as a template? An iron. You know, an iron that you use for ironing clothes? So now that I've said that, you can probably see the shape. But I just wanted something that looked a little bit more gothic, and also that would tie in with the little fabric pelmet on the door. So that's going to be stained tomorrow as well. So we'll get that all tied in. So I'll do a little video tomorrow on the bedroom, so you can see how it all looks. I'm thinking to myself, it's looking just fabulous at this point. So I've got some lovely little handles that I'm going to use for the doors. You can see it's just quite rustic. There's a little magnetic strip there just to close. So I'm very pleased with that. Again, it's just continuing that very simple theme, you know, because I think simplicity just makes one feel better. Simplicity means not too much responsibility, I suppose. You know, if you spend thousands and thousands of pounds or euros or dollars on fitted wardrobes for a bedroom, that seems to come with a lot of responsibility and a lot of angst, you know, that if it's damaged, if they're damaged or something happens, you know, it just seems so heavy. Whereas just having things made out of rough wood that doesn't cost a lot of money, and putting a little bit of effort into the design, a little bit of imagination or creativity, it's very easy on the mind, you know. because you don't have to keep to within all the conformity of straight lines and, you know, this has got to be perfect and, oh, has the person who's made it done a good enough job? It's more to do with creativity and just that lovely simplicity of style. William Morris, that's William Morris from the arts and crafts movement in England around the turn of the 19th century. 19th, 20th century. Sort of 18, I'm just guessing now. It was around sort of 1870 to about 1910, something like that. And the arts and crafts movement was about bringing the artisan, you know, the creative person, back into the mainstream of good design within the home or even outside of the home in the garden. So you had wonderful gardeners as well as part of that movement. Just trying to think of some of them. I mean, most of the Bloomsbury set, you know, Virginia Woolf, etc., they were very involved in that. And so it was about writing, it was about art, it was about gardening. You know, you had people like Gertrude Jekyll. You had this blossoming of creativity. And if you Google the arts and crafts movement and William Morris, and you Google images, you will instantly know what I'm talking about, because once you see those images, you'll be able to relate it to the arts and crafts movement. And those images have been enduring, that they have really endured the test of time, because they're still as popular today as they ever were. Look at little madam over there playing. It's going to leap up on top of there. So that's been the main theme in all the work that either I've done or I've worked with other people on here at Bealtaine Cottage. It's about evoking that sense of simplicity and style and beauty on a very, very low budget. So between the kitchen and the bedroom, excluding the cost of the mattress, which was quite expensive, I think I paid just over €800 for the mattress, and the first new mattress I've bought in years. Not that I need to justify it, because one spends a third of one's life in bed, so it's imperative to have a good mattress. But between doing the kitchen and the bedroom, and that's completely restyling both, and bringing a lot of natural wood into both as well. And I've used larch wood, which is grown here in Ireland. And it's just been rough cut timber. It hasn't even been finished timber. I think the total cost, I don't know, has been about €850–900 in total. So, and that's for 2 rooms. And the actual beauty, as I've said before, is really in the simplicity and the kind of rustic approach of the design. Now, quite a few things have happened over the past few days, which I feel compelled to tell you about. First thing is that I've discovered a load of poetry. I mean, a big packet of poetry, a huge envelope full of poetry that my father wrote. and it's been passed on to me by a family member, and I wasn't even aware that my father had written poetry. My father left school at the age of 13 and was very much a self-educated man. He was a great reader, prolific reader. He could hold wonderful conversations with anyone on any level because he was so widely read. And both my parents loved to read, and both my parents instilled in their children, whether we all followed it or not, not just a love of reading, but an urgent need to read. It was seen as a doorway to life, really. That if one learned to read, and then one learned to appreciate what one was reading, and developed a hunger or a thirst for knowledge, then that was the basis of education. So I've got this poetry which I shall be putting into type because it's all handwritten. I was going to get up actually and get all the stuff out and show you, but I'm not really ready to show it on camera yet. Second thing I wanted to share with you, was that I've been working for the past just a little over 2 months on what I'm referring to. The working title of it is Bealtaine Cottage Book of Days. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Book of Days. To begin with, it was like a medieval concept. People who were very wealthy, and more often than not ladies, had what was referred to as a Book of Days, and it was like a little... in those days, of course, it was all hinged on the kind of religious aspect, but it would have been a little book of prayers, thoughts, little pictures, beautiful calligraphy, a lot of gold leaf work, stuff like that, and centering around a little thought or a little prayer for each day. Hence the title, A Book of Days. So they've always fascinated me. And since the inception of the internet, you know, there's so many images online that it's quite possible now to research the classic Book of Days and just see the wealth of imagery that's up there. The Bealtaine Cottage Book of Days is based loosely upon that. But the way that I've been collecting all the written material that I have and all the pictures and assembling it is into a 365-page year diary. And the year diary is it's going to have the date. So say today's January the 16th. It'll say January the 16th, but it won't give a year and it won't give a day. So it won't say Tuesday and it won't say 2018. So in other words, it'll be a diary that can be used for any year. And it's been such a journey beginning to assemble this. Now I'm only about a quarter of the way through because it's quite a massive task, as you can appreciate. And each day, and I haven't actually worked in consecutive days, so I'm just pulling together days now that are very important to me. They're the first ones I'm doing. So the classic Celtic festivals, so Imach and Bealtaine and Lunasa and Samhain, pictures to go with these, little bits of knowledge, things that I know, things that are in my head. So putting that into the particular day. Various other aspects of that day that's related to Bealtaine, related to what happens here. So if I'm planting stuff, working in the garden, temperatures, seeds, recipes, everything that pertains to what will basically be a full year at Bealtaine. And the reason why I want to focus it in on a book of days is that I want to allow a small space on each page for you to be able to write something, to make it your own, to personalise it. And this will be, in the end, something which will be unique to you. But it will also be a way of celebrating the entire year. And again, because it doesn't have actual calendar numbers or days, it'll be relevant. It will always be relevant. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, and it's given me great joy, great pleasure. And I'm going through so many bits and pieces of paperwork that it's also turning all this into a personal journey, very much a personal journey. So I'm hoping anyway to perhaps get something into print in the coming months. There's no point in me giving, dates when I'm going to finish this, because it's actually a labour of love at this point. And I don't want to rush it. I don't want to feel under any pressure, should I say, because I'm enjoying it so much. So Nick has left. He's collected together all his tools and all the bits and pieces. All that's been packed up in the car. I've said that I will pull together lots and lots of little things that need to be done in the maintenance here of Bealtaine Cottage. So downpipes and guttering and so on and so forth. And every so often I'll contact Nick when I have enough to really provide him with a day's work, rather than him making the journey up here from where he lives, which is quite a few miles away. Just for an hour's work. It wouldn't be worth it. So I think JACK is a little bit sad, because of course he really loved having Nick around. Nick always brought him treats. So it's snowing outside, it's very cold, it's very warm in here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look, there's the stove burning brightly. I went into the stove in the lodge there today, and I noticed that the glass was cracked. It was actually broken. So I don't know what's happened there. My daughter said it had got very cold here over the time when I was away in Canada. So it may have had something to do with that, because the lodge can get very cold if fires aren't lit in there. So I'll have to replace that glass. That's on my to-do list. What else has been happening? Yes, I went into my printers today in Carrick just to see how things were moving along with the reprinting of A Cottage in 3 Acres. And that's coming along well. So possibly in the next 10 days or so, it will be before the end of January, I shall have another 1,000 books delivered here. So thank you to those of you who have pre-ordered the 2nd edition. I'll be writing out those envelopes probably tomorrow. I think I'll sit down and make sure I write out all the envelopes, and then they're ready then just for the books to be popped in and posted off. I will sign each copy for you. So I'd love to have feedback from you on what I'm doing at the moment. I know I can't really show you anything as such, but the Bealtaine Cottage Book of Days, tell me what you think. I'm quite excited by it because it's like a diary. It's very personal, but it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's actually very creative. It's given me the chance to pull together so many different things. Also, oh, by the way, I did actually talk to my printer today in Carrick about this particular book because I wanted to get an idea of how it was going to look, and I've decided to have it spiral bound so that when it's opened up it'll be completely flat, because this will be a book that will be used and used and used. So in order to kind of give it that longevity, rather than just have a paperback, it will be a spiral bound book, and that should weather the test of time a lot more than just an ordinary paperback. So I'm just waiting now for some quotes to come back, because I needed to get some quotes for this. Because as there's going to be also, I wanted it to be in full colour, every single page in colour, because again it's something which I'm not going to ever do again. This is going to be a complete one-off book. There won't be a secondary book to it, or it's going to be very much a sort of I suppose a collector's item at the end of the day, because it'll be a book of the full year at Bealtaine. So I want it to be special and durable. Yeah. So I'm going up now towards 24, getting on towards 25 minutes now in this video. So I don't want it to go on too long because it cuts off, as you know, at 29. I think it's 29.5 minutes. And you're probably getting fed up looking at the same view, although not at Jack. Jack loves to sit in front of the fire. Someone said, I thought it was a strange comment. Strange comment at best, a rude comment at worst. And I actually removed the comment because I thought I don't want that on my comment section here. I think it's really quite... I felt offended But someone said, why do you shut Jack out in that little, how did she refer to the porch? Why do you shut Jack out in that little place? And I thought, that's ridiculous. Anybody who's watched these videos will know absolutely, you know, that Jack is not shut up anywhere. Ridiculous. So I'm just wondering who that person was, because I certainly wouldn't go by the name that they presented themselves with. And I had explained on the video why Jack was in the porch. Because Nick was coming up the drive and he had arrived at the house and then he had to go back out for wood, and I didn't want to endanger Jack by allowing him out of a place of safety into the run of the cottage and the gardens where, you know, we all know how these things happen, you know, when a friend or family member inadvertently runs over the family dog. So I do whatever it is I have to do to protect Jack, and I always will. And I mean, look at his little tail wagging. Jack knows that I do everything to protect him. You know? So I felt a little bit hurt by that comment. Anyway, I've removed it because I'm not going to have anything hurtful on any of my social media sites, because that's not what Bealtaine Cottage is about. You know, if people want to be nasty or bitchy or contemptible, there are plenty of sites on social media where you can be all those things with a lot of other people who are all generally extremely unhappy. So, anyway, just to explain that, in case anyone saw the comment and then realised where it had gone to. It's been booted off into cyberspace, hasn't it, Jack? We're not going to have Bealtaine Cottage turned into a place of unhappiness, where people don't want to visit anymore because there's anger and resentment and unhappiness abounding. So, let me show you what Jack is very happy about. Look, now look. Now, get down now, don't be up on the sofa. And don't stand in front of the stove, you get burned. When I was out today, I bought this. For Jack, it's a meditative... Just hold on, Jack. Let me just show people first. And you've already had one bit. Honestly, you'd be as fat as a fool. It's a Mediterranean-style tuna wrap. So it's a healthy eat, okay? Yes, I know. Oh, you're such a big baby. So we'll have to give him this. So he's going to have the second piece of it now. This is just a very special treat. I don't do this too often. It wasn't too expensive either. I think it was $1.49 or something I paid for it. And as you can see, it's a lovely healthy treat. Let me just... He eats the lettuce as well, don't you know? Now, you sit... No, honest... Okay, now, there we go. Now, wait a moment. Let me just open the door. Because he does like to go into the porch and eat his food. Look. You see? Look at that. He doesn't like to be overlooked, and he doesn't like anyone being too close to him because he feels threatened. I mean, don't forget that Jack is a and I will let him out of there in a few minutes. In fact, I'll leave the door partially open. Don't forget that Jack is a rescue dog. And for the first 10 months of his life, because he was 10 months old when I got him from Leitrim Animal Welfare,